Hey, welcome back. Today's March 9th, Tuesday, and on this post, I'll be telling you about the overall crypto markets, which includes Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin price action very quickly, and see how they could potentially affect the overall altcoin markets before diving into Dent token, DENTUSD, and see what exactly has gone on in this market. I'll be telling you about the bullish and bearish case scenarios for today, as well as the short-term price prediction on this market, according to what I'm seeing on the charts. Before we begin today, if you guys are enjoying this content, please do make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video, as I'll be keeping you updated on the latest crypto setups on my watch list, regardless if it's a good day or a bad day. If you guys still want to support me and don't already have a Webull brokerage account, you guys can use my referral link down below. They're still giving away 2 free stocks as of today upon a successful sign up and a qualifying deposit of $100 and I will also receive a referral bonus if you guys sign up under me. Please also read my full disclaimer below. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I'm purely sharing my own speculation and opinions on this market. I cannot tell you the future, and you should always do your own due diligence before trading or investing in this market, as it's extremely risky and volatile. If you guys have any questions or comments, please do only leave them in the comment section below, but I'll try my best to get to as many of them as possible. See what exactly is going on in this market. First, I've already done a more detailed post on my earlier 2 posts today. So I'm just going to do a very quick recap here on Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin price action and see how they could potentially affect the overall altcoin markets. Bitcoin dominance up about 0.3% today. This breaks down to Bitcoin price action up over 4% today. Total altcoin market cap up over 3% today. Now this is the upside of Bitcoin dominance trending upwards. I will usually see Bitcoin price action leading in gains ahead of total altcoin market cap. Daily time frame, 3-day time frame on the Bitcoin dominance charts are now my focus because possible bullish divergence on both of these time frames, even if it looks like the price action here could be invalidating this inverse head and shoulders pattern I've been talking about for quite some time. If it looks like the inverse head and shoulders pattern is invalidated here on the daily time frame, however, bullish divergence still plays out, double bottom pattern still looks apparent on the 3-day time frame here. Okay, so I do still think there is a possibility of Bitcoin dominance going back upwards, even if it looks like that inverse head and shoulders pattern is invalidated. If Bitcoin dominance goes back upwards, not as ideal for the altcoin price action, because on the upside of Bitcoin dominance trending upwards, I would usually see cases like today, even though it's not a bad case. However, Bitcoin price action is still leading in price action, in gains ahead of total altcoin market cap. Upside of Bitcoin dominance trending downwards, I would see total altcoin market cap usually leading in gains ahead of Bitcoin price action. I usually emphasize Bitcoin dominance trending downwards. Generally speaking, better for the altcoins on both the upside and downside. Let's move over to Bitcoin price action here. Bitcoin here. Now, mixture of bullish and bearish signals. Okay, bullish signals, price action on the daily time frame here broke above the daily 21 MA after breaking above this falling wedge pattern. Measure target was about 59K. Measure targets are theoretical approximate targets only, may actually be different in real life price action, more or less. I do see possible resistance from the past trading history here about the 58, 59K area as well, so that's pretty in line with the measured targets. If Bitcoin price action actually pulls back, as we have seen February 22nd, starting from February 22nd, this could still have an effect on the overall altcoin price action bearishly. Magnitude of that effect would depend on how far up or down Bitcoin dominance is trending. Let's move over to DENTUSD. Let's take a look into the monthly time frame RSIs to the daily time frame RSIs, which I consider to be macro time frame RSIs, and look for any overbought RSI readings or possible bearish divergence scenarios, which are both bearish signals I should be looking out for. Monthly time frame here, we are in overbought territory, about 83. Okay, no possible bearish divergence scenario here. weekly time frame here, we had retreated from an RSI reading of about 96, currently about 73, slight overbought. Possible bearish divergence scenario here if the price action was to make a higher high. On the weekly time frame, it does need to beat the last RSI reading of about 96 to negate possible bearish divergence. Pretty similar narrative here on the 3-day time frame. However, it does look like we're already trying to make a higher high here. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be actually I'll be comparing this from the last high, which had an RSI reading of about 79.80. So it doesn't seem too far away right now from where it's at, about 74, 75. Slight overbought. Possible bearish divergence scenario here. If the price action was to make a higher high on the 3-day time frame, it does need to beat the last RSI reading of about 79.80, okay, to negate possible bearish divergence scenario. Daily time frame, very similar with what I said on the 3-day, okay. Let's take a look into what exactly could be going on in here. Now, I do see a possible symmetrical triangle pattern that is developing, but has not yet validated. I have seen this type of pattern with quite a bit of setups I have talked about today and earlier yesterday. So if I want to get any early clues on what the market could be doing in terms of the altcoin markets, if any of these setups, the symmetrical triangle setups, breaks to the upside, I'll lean towards other altcoins with the same setups to go on the upside as well, to actually break upwards as well, because of the correlation in the altcoin markets, some correlation in the altcoin markets. If some of these setups actually breaks to the downside, I would be a little more concerned, okay, because of the same correlation, okay. So I'll be also watching out for any setups with similar trading patterns and see which way they break, okay, because that could increase the likelihood of the specific altcoin that I'm looking at, and that breaking to either the upside or the downside, given some correlation in the altcoin markets. Now, let's take a look into the 3-day time frame here, where I see a more, like I said, a symmetrical triangle pattern that could be developing. I have one swing up, one swing down, two swings up. I'm looking for that second swing down to fully validate the symmetrical triangle pattern to this bottom trend line here. Right now, not yet validated, not yet fully formed. It's just my early estimate that is a symmetrical triangle pattern. If the symmetrical triangle pattern actually fully forms, according to what I have here, I do have a measure target of about 0.29 cents if it breaks out by the absolute apex here about March 17th. Okay. Now, measure targets are theoretical or approximate targets only, may actually be different in real life price action, more or less. According to Thomas Bukowski, a symmetrical triangle pattern is a continuation pattern, bullish in this case. It is a 60% chance of it breaking to the upside, according to his website, thepatternSite.com. Let's take a look into any lingering resistances and supports below this price action. Let's look for resistances first. I'm going to look out for any short-term moving averages that's above the pattern. So 1 hour to 6 hour to 12 looks good. We don't have any short-term moving averages above the pattern that could be acting as lingering resistance. The daily, the 3 days, they're all underneath the price action. So right now, let's check for Fib levels. The Fib level here at about the 0.2 cents area would be resistance, okay, followed by previous trading history here. I would say about the psychological support here, resistance here, excuse me, possibly about the 2.4 cents area, okay. That could be resistance from past trading history here, followed by about the 2.6 cents. And finally, last resistance from past trading history here was about 0.275 cents. So possible rejections in these levels I just named. Okay. Now let's take a look into the key supports. So So the 12-hour moving averages are actually inside the pattern right now. Those are short-term moving averages. The daily 21 MA will be the key support. However, that's also within the pattern. Okay, so if the price action actually breaks this bottom trend line here, it looks like the next level of key support I'll be looking at will be this Fib level at about the 0.16 cents area. Okay, now let's take a look into the bullish and bearish case scenarios here. Bullish case scenario, price action breaks above the pattern, finishes developing this pattern, fully validates this symmetrical triangle pattern, breaks above the top trend line, and go towards its measure targets. Mind the resistance levels I just pointed out, as they could be possible rejections. Bearish case scenario, price action breaks its bottom trend line. Next level of key support right here will be at the 0.16 cents Fib level area. If that does not hold, it seems like the next level of key support I'll be looking at would be about the 0.13 cents Fib level area. Okay, as the daily 50 MA is still quite far behind. Okay, now these are my bullish and bearish case scenarios for today. Let me know if you found it helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Let me know your agreements, disagreements, feedback. I love to hear them. Hope you manage your risk carefully, and if you'd like to see any more of my most recently uploaded videos on YouTube, you guys can check out my links up here on YouTube. See you next time.